Whew. Okay, so if you have two blocks or anything that can be used as like a block that you can put your hands on, I would definitely grab that. We're gonna do a bunch of leg stuff today, but nothing like super crazy. But we're gonna start in a meditative seat. So you can sit cross-legged on a block, you can sit on a blanket or a sweatshirt if you have one of those. Or you can sit in Virasana on the block. I'm gonna sit in Virasana, but you can sit however you want to sit. And then once you're there and you set yourself up, then you can just let your eyes just come to a close. Palms can be face up or face down in your lap or on your knees or thighs, wherever they land. And just begin to notice your breath. Making the unconscious actions in your body be conscious. So you're really noticing your breathing, being extremely aware of where the breath is going, how it's moving. Notice notice how your heart is beating. And just try to really let everything just settle and come to some homeostasis level of calm. Let your shoulders drop. Notice if you're holding any tension in your face. And just breathe. Taking one hand to your low belly and one hand to your heart. Just notice how your belly and chest move on each inhale and on each exhale. Try to guide the breath to begin at your low belly so that you can really fill up your entire chest cavity with breath before you exhale it out. And take one more deep inhale. And one more deep exhale. Your arms can just drop. Then you can gently flutter open your eyes and then find your way into a widening child's pose. So knees are as wide as your mat-ish and big toes are touching. Arms can walk out and then your forehead just rests on the floor. Try to get your heels towards your butt. And you can rock your forehead right and left. If you don't want your forehead to be that low on the ground, you can always put a block under your forehead too. And notice what that feels like. Might be nicer on your spine, depending on how you're feeling. Take one more deep inhale here. One more exhale. And then begin to walk your hands back up so that you're sitting on your shins and your knees are still wide. If this hurts your knees, you can just bring your knees together. But it's just nice to have a little bit more space. Then your hands can come onto your knees or your thighs and you're just going to take circles around. So imagine that you're kind of giving your butt a little massage on your heels as if it was pretending to be like a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball. And your shoulders and your head can just shake around and stir around. Just getting movement into the upper body and the hips. And then take your circles in the opposite direction. Noticing what it's like to spin one way and then the other. Still listening to your breath. You can always match an inhale and exhale to each part of the movement. So as you turn one way, you inhale, come back around, you exhale. So find your own rhythm and then go back to circling to the right again. And elbows and arms, you can do whatever. You can move your hands around. You can lift your hands up off your legs and see what happens. And take circles to the left again. Nice. Cool. Take one more circle to the left. Come back to center. Place your hands like right by your hips and just bring your knees together to touch. Then from there, if you have blocks, you can place them underneath your hands. Otherwise, just take some gentle rocks out back with your knees. Yeah. You might get a few little cracks in the top of your feet. You can try lifting one knee and then the other. Odds are you all have done this before. You can try to stay on your fingertips though, if your hands are not blocks and your butt stays connected to your heels the whole time. Take one more rock. Come back up through sitting on your shins. Hands can come down in front of you. Knees come as wide as your mat again. Tuck your toes under and then press your butt back towards your heels and then walk your arms out. I like to grab the edges of my mat here just because then you can really feel that equal and opposite push and pull of pulling forward on your mat as you try to press your back towards your butt towards your heels. And then your forehead can just rest wherever it rests. But this is a really nice opener for the bottoms of the feet and a really nice way to lengthen all sides of the body. Cool. Take one more inhale. One more exhale, and then let that go and bring yourself up into an all fours position. So your hands come underneath your shoulders, your knees come underneath your feet. That was wrong, your knees come underneath your hips. And then right away, we're gonna flip our hands around 180 degrees. If that feels like too much, you can always just go 90 and then take circles with your hips to the right. It's okay if as you go back, the base of your hands lift up a little bit. That's totally fine. If as you spin around, you can always circle your head here. You can always close your eyes. I like trying to do class a lot with my eyes closed because then you're very aware of how your body is feeling in space. And taking away your vision is sometimes a scary thing, but a good exercise. Take circles to the left. Doing whatever you want with your head, neck, and shoulders. Just make sure that you're looking out in front of you if you're not moving your head around, and don't tuck your chin in towards your chest and then try to look at your belly button. Just look out towards the future, towards the potential. Cool. Take one more circle. Come back to neutral, flip your hands back around the normal way, and find your hands underneath your shoulders again, and come up onto your fingertips. Cool. From here, you're gonna step your right foot out. I don't know if you can see my right foot, but it's in line with my left knee. So you're in this kind of gate pose, and then you're gonna take rocks forward and back on your shin. And the further back you go, the further stretch you'll get in that left hip. And then take some bends also in the right knee. So you can try to bend a little bit right and left and move a little bit side to side instead of just forward and back. Yeah. Head, once again, you can just do whatever, you can shake it out. Cool. Take one more. Then come back with your shoulders underneath your hands. Oh my God, on top of your hands. Place your left hand back down and then reach your right arm up to the sky. So we have this nice open twist. See how far back your right fingertips can go while really pressing the outer edge of your right foot down. And then swim your right hand back down so it comes underneath your shoulder. Bend your right knee back in. Take a cat and cow to just rinse that side out or just shake your tail or something. Whatever feels good to give yourself a little rinse, and then step your left foot out. So big toes are in line with your right knee. Whole sole of the foot is on the ground, then you can take those rocks forward and back. Yeah. Sideways, it looks like this. Put your hands on the ground. Nice. Just shake your head out. Yeah. And the top of your back foot can be on the ground. So all 5 toes of your right foot are pressing the top. Nice. And then take those bends in the left knee too. So you can go a little bit more side to side, getting in a different plane of movement. I forget what the different planes are, but alas. Okay. Come back to neutral, hands underneath your shoulders, still on fingertips if you can, and then lift your left arm up for a twist. Pulling those left fingertips up and over as you press down to the outer edge of your left foot. One more inhale. One more exhale. Okay, left hand comes down, back underneath your shoulders. Palms can come down so you're not on fingertips anymore. One more cat-cow. A little wiggle. And then hands will come about a palm print in front of where they are. And you're just going to tuck your toes and lift your knees and come into a plank pose. So just find your measure of your plank. Your shoulders are over your hands. Your legs are super engaged. And it's as if your feet are pressing up against a wall. Your heels are right on top of your toes. Looking out and down. And then bend your knees and stick your butt up, come into your first down dog. Take a few mini petals, shake out your head, yes and no, and then come forward back into your plank. Wrap your elbows in towards your chest, and then gently lower yourself down onto your mat. In a straight line. Untuck the toes when you get to the bottom. So your hands right now are underneath your shoulders. Find them in that same line, but just on the floor. So you're on your fingertips again, and your elbows are shooting up towards the sky. Forehead is resting on the mat, and we're getting ready to do some little cobra things. So as you inhale, you're going to lift your chest, neck, and head. Elbows can stay bent, and then exhale, lower yourself back down. And just keep going in your own pace. However fast you're inhaling and exhaling, just let your breath be the reason that you move. And your head can once again just like shake or do whatever it wants here too. Doesn't matter how crazy the back bend is. Really try to keep all 10 toes pressing down. We'll take one more. And then once you lower yourself onto the ground, make a palm pillow with your hands underneath your forehead. And just completely let your butt release and rock your hips from right to left. Don't want to clench our butts. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Hands come back underneath your shoulders and press yourself up back into that all fours position. One more thing here. As you inhale, you're going to lift your right arm up to the sky, so that twist again. And then as you exhale, you're going to thread your right arm underneath your left, so that your right shoulder, right side of your face comes to the ground. Hips are still square as if they're pressing into a wall behind you. Then your left fingertips walk up and out to the right diagonal. So you're in this nice twist. Chin comes underneath the left armpit. Inhale, see if you can walk your left fingertips a little bit more forward. Exhale, see if you can twist out more to the sky. Super nice. Try to have your fingertips on the ground only so that you could fit like an orange underneath the palm of your hand. Yeah, nice. On your next exhale, walk your left fingertips back towards your face, and then lift your right arm back up to the sky, swim it forward, take a cat-cow or a little shake just to rinse it out. Inhaling, lift the left arm up. Exhale, thread the needle. Thread your left arm underneath your right. Whole left side of your face and your left shoulder comes to the ground. Right fingertips walk up and over to the left diagonal of your mat. And then you twist underneath your armpit. Chin comes up underneath your armpit. Just find your breath. Inhaling to lengthen out a little bit more. Exhale to twist up underneath. See if you can get your left eyeball to look up at the sky or ceiling. It's hard. Take one more exhale. And then walk your right fingertips back towards your face. Lift your left arm up again. Swim it back down. Last cat-cow of the day, or little shake. And then find your way back into your downward facing dog. If you want to come through plank to make sure that your measure of your down dog is correct, highly recommend. Then once you're in your down dog, you can just shake it out a little, bend your right knee, bend your left knee. You can shake out your arms, shake out your head. Pedal it out and give yourself some movement. And then as you formalize it a little bit, you're pressing down with the palms of your hands. You're wrapping your armpits up towards the sky into your heart. And then you're bending your knees and sticking your butt up. Amazing. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. And then on your next inhale, lift your right leg up, down dog split. Exhale, step your right foot. So it's right next to your right thumb. Gonna place your back knee down, untuck the back toes, right knee's right on top of your right ankle, and then reach your arms forward, out and up. Once you're there, really reach your fingertips up to the sky, and then as you reach, grab your opposite elbow. So you're really lifting up through both elbow points. Imagine that someone's pulling you up like you have two puppet strings. Pressing the hips forward. Your left pinky toe is pressing down onto the mat. Gaze comes slightly up towards where the wall meets the ceiling. On your next exhale, reach the arms up again. Place your fingertips on either side of your right foot. If you want to use your blocks here, you can. We're just going to bring our hips back as you move your right toes up to the sky. And try to come back so that you're sitting on your butt again, sitting on your butt again, sitting your butt on your heel again. And if it feels better to tuck the toes and do that, feel free. And then you can widen your arms out so that you're like a little T, and then you can rock your right toes right to left. You're just really folded down. If you want to keep your hands on blocks, or if you want to stay higher, you can do that too. Just try whatever feels good. And then stay there. Keep listening to your breath. One more inhale, shake out your head. One more exhale. From there, your left hand's going to stay wherever it is. And then you're just going to reach your right arm up to the sky again. So this might change where you have the weight on your left leg and your right leg, but just come into that twist. And as you exhale, swim your right hand back down so it's on the right side of your right foot. Move your left hand off your block, come back into your low lunge, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, press down into the ground with your left hand, and then reach your right arm up to the sky. As you're here, imagine that you're pulling your right hip back a little bit more. So you really get that nice opening in your right glute. And from here, we're going to come into a side plank. So you can either leave your right arm up and see what happens, or you can place it on your right hip. You're going to spin onto the outer edge of both your right and left foot, and then place your right foot on top of your left. Right arm stays up. Inhale, bring the right arm up over your ear, lift your hips up so you're kind of in a rainbow. And then come back into your normal plank, come back into your downward facing dog. Pedal it out, take anything here. If you want to do a chaturanga, or if you want to come into a tuck-toed up dog, always an option. I might not cue it today, but do whatever feels nice. Take one more inhale in your dog. One more exhale. Then on your next inhale, lift your left leg up this time. Toes face down, slight bend in the right knee still, and then step your left foot to your left bone. Place the back knee down, untuck the back toes, arms come forward, 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 until they have nowhere else to go but up. Reach those fingertips up to the sky, and then grab for opposite elbow. So whichever one feels weirder. Pressing the hips forward again, really bringing your elbows back probably more than you think, so that you have a nice little back bend. Your elbows and your shoulders can really open up. Pressing that right little pinky toe down, pressing the hips forward, really letting your armpits open so that it's easier to breathe into your lungs. One more inhale. One more exhale. Reach your fingertips up to the sky again, and then place them on either side of your left foot. Do whatever you did on the other side with the blocks, and come to whatever variation of coming back onto your right knee and lifting your left toes up to the sky. Try to do something similar to what you did on the other side. And then wherever you are, you can just rock right and left. You can move forward and back if that feels nicer. Just relax your head. Yeah. You can really try to move the left toes all the way to the left and all the way to the right, and that'll get you a really nice stretch on all sides of your hamstring and to your butt, which is always necessary. Let everything go. Come back to your breath again. Notice how you're breathing. Maybe it's getting a little bit quicker. And then place your, forgot. Inhale, lift the left arm up so that you're in this like twisty thing here. So you can keep your weight back on your right heel, or you can lift up a little bit more. See how far the left fingertips can go. And then swim that left arm down to the left side of your left foot. Come into your low lunge again. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Right hand comes down onto the ground underneath your shoulder, and then lift your left arm up. Pulling that left hip back a little bit more. Gazing up towards your left hand if that feels okay. Otherwise, you can look down or just look out to the left side. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then we're coming into our side plank. So if you can keep your left arm lifted as you turn onto the outer edge of the right foot, then stack your left foot on your left foot on top of your right foot, or bring your hand back to your waist and then do it. Take one more inhale, lift your left arm up and over your ear, lift your hips up, and then come into your normal plank. Bend your knees, stick your butt up, downward facing dog. Take a little flow, feel free to just pedal it out. And then when you're ready, you're gonna walk your hands back towards your feet, so you're coming to the back of the mat and coming into a forward fold. From here, just let everything shake out. Let your head shake out. Let your arms just dangle like they're branches blowing in the wind. Bend in your knees. Make sure your feet are at hips width distance. You can measure that out by putting 2 fists in between your arches. Good job. And then from there, once you're all set up, you're going to interlace your hands at the base of your spine and let your hands just come over your head. From here, you're just going to take a few little twists. So as you bend into your left knee, you can open up to the right side. As you bend into your right knee, you can open up to the left. And as you turn to the right, your right leg kind of straightens a little bit more. So there's just a nice opening in your chest. And you can just take a few little small ones too, or just wiggle it around, whatever feels nice.
Then your hands are gonna come to the base of your spine, arms will dangle, and then slowly, 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 you're gonna roll up to stand. Stacking vertebra on top of vertebra, going as slowly as you can until your head stacks on top. And then once you're at the top, you can shake it out. First time standing, so just notice what it's like to stand on 2 feet. Find your hands on your hips. Weight comes into the left foot, and you're gonna kick your right foot towards your butt and just grab for your right foot with your right hand. Your left arm can go up by your left ear. If you wobble and fall, great, just get back into it. We're just in a normal quad stretch, but our legs are tight. So press your hips a little bit more forward, shoulders down and back. One more inhale, one more exhale, and then gently let that go. Give yourself a little wiggle before we do the other side. Weight comes into the right foot, hands are on your hips. Kick your left foot towards your left butt. Don't fall over like me. Oh my God. And then just find your balance. Finding something to look at so you have your gaze somewhere. And try to keep your knees as close together as they can. Left foot tries to come really close to your left butt. Pressing the hips forward. One side might be easier than the other. You can also try to grab for your foot with both hands. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then gently let that go. Give yourself a little wiggle again. Find your feet right underneath your hips. Inhale, lift the arms out, press palms together and look up. And then exhale, forward fold over your legs. From there, you can give yourself one little shake before you walk yourself back to your downward facing dog. Cool. Take one inhale, one exhale. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up, down dog split. Exhale, step your right foot to your right thumb again. So feel free to put your hands on blocks at any point when we do the next step. I'm not going to use blocks. I'm just going to be on my fingertips, but do whatever you need. You're going to find your right hand come to your right hip a little bit. It might be helpful to have your left hand on a block, or you can also place your palm onto the ground. And then as you inhale, you're going to spin so that you come onto the outer edges of both feet. Then as you exhale, you'll come back to a normal lunge. And you can do this at your own pace. This just really gets into the outer edge of your right butt, which is a very tight place normally. And just take it a few more times. Feeling the front of the left hip open up also. Really move your right toes so that they become parallel with the short edge of your mat. Take one more. And then place your right hand down so that your hands are framing your right foot. I'm actually going to come on blocks because I like blocks. And then you're going to heel toe your right foot over to where your left hand is, and then begin to straighten your legs. So pulling your right hip back. Let your entire torso just fall over your legs. It's okay if your legs are still bent a little bit. And if you don't want your head to fall over your legs, then just look out and keep it in line with your butt. Take one more inhale here. One more exhale. And then heel toe your right foot back over towards the right hand. Hop your left foot in about a foot or 20 centimeters. And then pulling your right hip back again. Inhale, lengthen out your spine, and exhale, just let your torso fall over your legs. So coming into pyramid pose. Both feet are entirely on the ground. If you can't find your hands touching the ground, then just find a bend in both knees or shorten your stance so that your hands can also touch the ground, or grab blocks or something similar. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. And you're gonna remove the blocks off to the side if you're using them. Place your hands down and come back into your downward facing dog. You can rock your hips from right to left. Noticing how one side feels compared to the other. You can take your chaturanga if you want, or you can just come to a tucked up dog, or you can do nothing. On your next inhale, begin to walk your feet up towards your hands. So now we're coming into a forward fold at hips width distance at the front of the mat. Once again, just let yourself entirely hang over your legs. Yeah, have that slight bend in your knees. Make sure your knees are tracking over your toes. Yeah, just let everything release over. From there, we're gonna do a yogi toe lock. So we're gonna use your pointer finger and your middle finger and grab around your big toes, and then your thumb will grab the other side. I don't know how to describe that. Grab your big toe with your middle finger, your pointer finger, and your thumb. And then inhale, lengthen your spine again, and exhale, bend your elbows and forward fold over your legs. See if you can slightly straighten your legs a little bit more. And if you have to keep them super bent, that's great. The priority here is to try to find the connection between your chest or your belly and your thighs. So it doesn't matter how straight your legs are at all. And just shake your head out again. See how wide you can get your elbows. Nice. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Let your arms go. Fingertips can come onto the ground. You can give your legs a little shake out. And then begin to roll yourself up to stand again until you stack each vertebra on top of vertebra like Jenga blocks. And you're standing up super tall. Give your shoulders a little roll. And just find yourself standing. Once again, you're going to place your hands on your hips. This time, lift your right knee up in front of you, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. My balance is so bad today. Every day is different. And then from there, you're going to bend back into your left knee a little bit and just come into this figure four stretch. If you want, your hands can come to prayer and you can rest your left elbow on your right foot and your right elbow on your right knee. Your hands can even come to the floor, or you can just stay up or use a wall to help you. That's what I do. Oh my God, I can't stand today. But really find your gaze looking at something in front of you, and that will very much help your balance. Woo. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Coming out of it just as you came in, so straighten that left leg. Lift your right knee up. Place to the other side. Give yourself a little shake. Hands come onto your hips. Left knee lifts up to the sky. Left foot crosses over your right thigh. I can't do anything today. I need someone to demo for me. And then just bend back into your hip. Or bend back into your right leg. Yeah. No shame in using something in front of you to hold you up. Cool. Really pressing the left knee down as you bend into your right knee. Hands come to prayer. You can hold something, hold a friend. Take one more cycle of breath. And then bring yourself back up to stand. Hands come onto hips, lift the left knee up. Place your left foot down. Find your feet at hip width distance. Inhale, lift your arms up, press palms together. Exhale, forward fold over your leg. We're not going back to down dog yet. We're going to do one more weird thing, but will be very good for your knees and your legs. So you're going to grab for your right heel with your right hand. So you're like cupping your hand behind your heel. Same thing on the other side. So you have your heel in the palm of your hand. And then as you bend your knees, you're going to try to come into a squat, and then straighten your legs and come back to that forward fold. So just try to do that 10 times. Really make sure your knees are tracking over your toes and your knees end up coming into your armpit. So you have a ball mitt fit with your hand and your heel, but then you also have a ball mitt fit with your knee and your armpit. So only straighten your legs as much as you can keep that contact. And try to count to 10 and keep yourself accountable. This is hurting my legs, but it's good pain. You always need some squats in yoga. Cool. And once you finish your 10, you can just let everything go. Shake your legs out, dangle your arms. And then just let your head completely drop again and begin to walk yourself back to your downward facing dog. Whew. Take a chaturanga or just come into a tuck-toed up dog. Flush it all out. You can look over your right shoulder, your left shoulder, and your up dog. And then bend your knees, stick your butt up, come back to your downward facing dog. Inhale this time with the left leg up. Exhale, step your left foot to your left thumb. Cool. What do we do on the other side? We can just make something up because I totally forgot. What did we do on the other side? Oh, never mind, I remember. Okay, sorry, intermission. You're gonna place your right hand down, find your left hand on your left hip, and then you're gonna come onto the outer edge of your left foot and your right foot. So my left toes come all the way out to the left side so that they're parallel with the short edge of the mat. Your gaze is still down and out, getting that nice opening into the left butt. Yeah. Just make sure your knees are tracking over your toes the whole time. Doesn't matter how far you go, just as long as they're in the same line, then you will be safe. Take one more. Come back to center, place your left hand down. If you want to find blocks, you can. And then heel toe your left foot over to your right hand and begin to straighten both legs. Your right heel is still imagining it's pressing up into a wall so that your hips stay super lifted. In our bodies, we have 5 heels. 2 are the heels of our wrists, the other 2 are the heels of our feet. The 5th one is the heel of our butt. So when we lift one heel, we lift all heels. So if you lift your back heel, it lifts your butt, and then you just have more integrity in your spine. Your butt and your back can be longer. So it's safer. Pulling that left hip back a little bit. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. And then bend back into your left knee. Heel toe your left foot over to your left hand. You can use the block still if you want. We're just hopping our back foot in to come to a pyramid pose. Right toes are staying on an angle. Whole soles of both feet are pressing on the ground. Pulling the left hip back, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, forward fold over your legs. Both legs can be bent. Shake out your head. Really let your entire face relax. Come back to your breath. Notice how your breathing is. We've built a lot of heat because using our legs, biggest muscles in our body, builds a lot of heat. So just notice how you're breathing and see if you can use your breath to calm everything down. You can sway your hips from right to left. Take one more cycle of breath. Wonderful. Bend back into your left knee. Remove the blocks, come into your lunge, and step yourself back to a downward facing dog. Feel free to take another up dog or a chaturanga or do nothing. Then find your knees as wide as the mat, big toes touching, or you can keep your feet tucked like we did in the beginning, and take your choice of a child's pose. If your toes are tucked, I definitely recommend grabbing the mat and really trying to pull the mat away from you. If your feet are untucked, then you can just rest your forehead on the ground.
Taking your deep inhales and exhales, trying to guide the breath into your low belly. Taking a moment to notice how your body is feeling. Calming it down before we do the next few things. Really listening to your breath. Letting that guide you for the last few minutes of class. When you're ready, bring yourself back up into your downward facing dog. Your hips with distance, hands are at shoulder distance. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up, and this time bend the knee and open the hip. So take some circles with your knee and your ankle. Use anything that feels good here, keeping your shoulders in the same line, your left knee slightly bent, and then straighten your leg again and step your right foot to your right thumb. Cool. You're gonna keep your entire back leg lifted and keep that left heel up, and then you're gonna bring your arms forward, out and up into a high lunge. Wonderful. Notice where your blocks are, because you feel free to use them for the next thing. You're gonna get a little bouncy on that front leg, and then do whatever you want to come into a version of Warrior 3. So if you haven't done Warrior 3 before, your hands can come to a prayer. You can still leave them up by your ears, and then just lift your back knee, back leg. Hips are square, or you can place your hands on blocks right underneath your shoulders. Just keeping your legs super engaged. Gaze can come out, and then from there, if you want to try to find the balance, you can. Take one more inhale wherever you are, wrapping that left hip down. One more exhale. Then place your left foot back down onto the ground. Come into that high lunge again. Place your hands down to frame your right foot. Place your back knee down, untuck the back toes, and then find yourself in your Anjaneyasana again. So you're looking out in front of you, chest is on your thighs. Then we're gonna come into a deeper twist. So you're gonna find your left upper arm, come across your right leg. Hand can come over, right hand comes over the left circle fist. And then inhale, lengthen, look out in front of you. Exhale, twist and see if you can look up towards the sky. Yeah. Knee is still right on top of ankle. If it isn't, look down and move it. And then if you want, you can tuck your back toes and lift your back knee and try to find more of a balance. Yeah. If you fall, it doesn't matter. It's hard. Take one more breath. And from there, you're gonna see if you can lift off your knee for a second, just to hop your left foot up towards your right. So you're coming into this twisted chair pose. Yeah, gaze keeps looking up towards the sky. Hips are square, facing back. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then come into a normal chair pose. Your quads might be burning. Sorry, not sorry. One more inhale. One more exhale. Straighten the legs. Let everything go. Shake it out. You can move your blocks away. Find yourself standing on 2 feet. And then inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Give yourself a little wiggle on top of your legs. And then come back into your downward facing dog. Yay, only one more side. Cool. From here, lift your left leg up, down dog split. This time bend the knee, open up the hip. Take any circles with your ankle or your knee.
Try to keep your shoulders in the same line. Circling everything around. And then straighten your left leg again. Step your left foot to your left thumb. Setting up for your high lunge, so you know where we're going this time, so adjust yourself if you need to. You're gonna press down with both feet and then reach your arms up. Cool. Once you're there, find your balance in your high lunge. Get hoppy on both legs, and then come into your version of warrior three. So arms can stay out in front of you, arms can come to prayer, hands can come down on blocks. Whatever feels good. Just wrap that right hip down so that your hips are in the same line and your hips stay square. You can try a few different variations. Have a slight bend in your left knee. It'll help bring you some more stability in your left leg. Find that spot to look at. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then place your right foot back down. Come back into your high lunge as gracefully as possible. Place your hands back down. Place the back knee down. Untuck the back toes. Find that connection between your chest and your thigh. Find your low lunge setup. And then bring your right elbow to hook on top of your left knee. Right hand comes into a fist. Left hand comes to paper to cover your fist. And then inhale, look forward in front of you, hips stay square. And then exhale, twist and look up towards the sky. Pressing the hips forward. Nice. See if you can press your hips a little bit more forward, you do. Yeah, so you have a really nice long angle there. Good. If you want to try it, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and try to find your balance. Heel lifts up towards the sky. If you fall, don't worry, just get back into it. Cool. Then if you didn't try it, now is the mandatory time to try it. Lift up your back knee, tuck your toes, and then hop your right foot in towards your left and come into that twisted chair pose. Gazing, look up towards the sky, or you can just look down if you want to find your balance. Hips are in the same line. One more inhale. One more exhale, really lean back, and then come into your normal chair pose. One more inhale. One more exhale. Straighten both legs. Shake it all out. Sorry. Find your feet underneath your hips. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Know that you don't have to do any more hard leg things anymore. And come back into your downward facing dog. This will be your last down dog. So pedal it out. Do anything that you want. And then place your knees down. Untuck the toes. Sit your butt to one side and come to lie down on your back. Once you get there, you can have your feet as wide as your mat and just let your knees knock into one another. Hands can come to your low belly or just be down by your sides. And come back to your breath. Notice if it's sped up. Notice if you're sweating. And then you can begin to give your knees a little windshield wiper right to left. Yeah, your knees go to the right and they go to the left. Still listening to your breath. Using your breath to slow anything that's been sped up. Then you're going to hug both knees in towards your chest. And just give yourself a little rock from right to left. The next time that your knees are over to the right, let them settle onto the floor so that your knees are in line with your hips. Your left arm comes out to the left side in either a T or a cactus shape. Your right hand is on your top of your left knee. You're really feeling that equal opposite pull on that diagonal from the left fingertips all the way down to the left knee. Gaze can go over the left shoulder. So a really nice twist. Sometimes your back might crack here, it's very nice. Just settling everything down. Letting everything relax. Notice if you're holding any tension in your fingers or your toes. Just let them be very limp. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then bring your knees back through center. Give yourself those rocks from right to left again. Go slow or as fast as you want. And then the next time that your knees fall over to the left, let them hit the floor. Right arm comes out to the right. Gaze goes over the right shoulder. Left hand comes onto left, right knee. See if you can find that connection between your right shoulder and the floor as your knees touch the floor. Close your eyes here. Really let your breath slow everything down. Relax your feet, relax your hands. Notice if there's anything going on in your eyes, your eyebrows. Relax your jaw. And then gently begin to bring your knees back to center. Rock from right to left again. Then you're gonna let the rocks come forward and back instead until you have enough momentum to sit yourself up. Cool. So if you're near a wall or couch, we're gonna end in just like legs up the wall, which is just nicer than Shavasana sometimes. But if you have a blanket or anything to put under you, you can put that on the ground, flush up against the wall. If you don't, forget it. So you're gonna come to sit up against a wall, like sideways, and then you're just gonna lean down onto one side, doesn't matter. And then just roll yourself onto the sides that your legs come up against the wall. You could also do this with your couch hiju if you want to just let your legs come over the couch. Yeah. You should just move to a wall, Wes. Cool. From there, just let your ankles and your feet and your knees be super soft. You shouldn't have to hold anything up here. Gravity is holding things up for you along with the wall. Then your hands can come onto your low belly, or they can come out into a T shape. Just really let everything begin to rest. Only lie here for a few minutes, but just notice what it's like to have the blood drain from your feet all the way down to your hips, into your heart and your lungs. Nice. Feel free to give your legs a little wiggle or a little shake if that feels good as they're there. And just really begin to notice your breath and follow your breath for the next few minutes. And whatever thoughts come to mind, just let them pass Don't dwell on them, just follow them and let them go. Just keep breathing. You have nowhere else to be but here. To come out of it, just bring some wiggles back into your legs if you weren't continuously wiggling them. Then you can let your knees bend so then your feet will come on the wall or the edge of your couch cushion. And then you can roll over onto your right or left side, whichever side is calling you today. Take a moment in your fetal position, keep your gaze super soft, your eyes closed. And then do whatever you need to come back into the comfortable seat that we started in earlier. So roll yourself onto one side and then roll yourself back up to sit. Sitting up on something if you can, keeping your eyes closed. Hands can come face up, however you're sitting, on your thighs or your knees. I'm just taking a final moment here to assess how your body feels after this past hour. How does your breath feel? How does your mind feel? How does each part of your body feel? We'll bring one hand to the belly again and one hand to your heart or your chest. And just keeping the contact there to notice how you're breathing. We'll take one breath all together. So wherever you are, just exhale everything out on empty. And then take one big inhale through the nose, the biggest breath you've taken today. Hold it at the top. And then big sigh, exhale out the mouth. Come back to your normal breath, let everything just wiggle and let go. Hands can come to press at the center of your chest in a prayer, giving yourself a lot of gratitude, your body a lot of gratitude for doing everything that it does for you every single day. And gratitude that we can practice today. We'll bring our thumb knuckles up to third eye center and then end practice with the final bow.
honoring everything we just did. Thanks, guys. Good job. I'm so tired. Oh, I just stopped recording. Oh my God.